For a lot of us, video games are just an escape, a way to kind of tune out the world for a little while. But what if that escape could actually be a path to healing? What if the very act of playing could help us repair not just ourselves, but our communities too? That's the really powerful idea we're going to dive into today.
It's the big question, isn't it? We hear it all the time, that games are just a distraction from the real world. But what if we could take that incredible power of distraction, of focus, and turn it into a force for restoration? Well, that's the journey we're starting right now.
For years, anytime we've tried to make games more serious or meaningful, it's often felt like we just slapped on some points, badges, and leaderboards. But that's kind of surface level, isn't it? We're looking at something much, much deeper today. A whole new way to think about why we play in the first place.
Okay, so let's break this down because it's a huge difference. On the left, you've got gamification. We all know this. It's about getting external stuff, points, rewards. It's competitive, a straight line to the finish. But on the right, you've got this other idea, Ludic Restoration. This is a whole different beast. It's not about winning. It's about finding meaning inside the experience. It's about community, repair, and growth. That's more like a cycle than a straight race.
So what does this blueprint for a healing game actually look like? Well, it all centers on this one core concept, Ludic Restoration. And believe me, it's the key to everything we're about to explore.
So here it is, the big idea. Let's unpack that, because it's a mouthful. Ludic Restoration isn't about just inventing brand new game mechanics out of thin air. No, it's way more profound. It's about looking at these ancient global traditions, these time-tested ways of dealing with hardship, and finding their functional DNA. Then it's about translating those powerful human rituals of repair and endurance into the language of video games. To really get this, we're going to go on a little journey together. Think of it like we're traveling the world to find the secret ingredients, these core human practices that can be transformed into a completely new kind of play. All right, our first stop, the Arctic. This is a place where survival demands an absolutely incredible level of mental and physical toughness. And it's here that we find our first ingredient, hidden inside a set of ancient games that are so much more than just fun. This quote just nails it. I mean, think about that for a second. Games that aren't a pastime, but are essential survival simulations. This completely flips the whole purpose of play on its head. It connects it directly to building the resilience you need to survive one of the toughest places on Earth.
And this is where it gets really practical, and honestly, so cool. Look on the left. You've got these intense physical games like the knuckle hop. The whole point, therapeutically, is to learn to keep your cool under extreme stress. So how does that become a game mechanic? Well, instead of a health bar, what if you had a composure bar? As you take hits, your screen gets distorted, the controls get shaky, and you have to ace a little breathing minigame to get your focus back. See, it's not about avoiding the pain, it's about managing your reaction to it. And that communal part? That becomes a drum circle, where even players who are out can still help by providing buffs.
And this is the fundamental shift. The whole point isn't to build a character that never gets hurt. It's to give you, the player, the actual tools and skills to maintain your focus through the pain. That changes everything about what challenge means in a game.
Okay, so we've gone from the physical resilience of the Arctic, and now we're traveling into the mind. Our next ingredient is all about narrative resilience. This idea that the story you tell about yourself can be your single strongest defense against whatever life throws at you. This insight comes from a really powerful therapeutic practice called the Tree of Life, and its whole philosophy just flips the usual script. Instead of starting with what's wrong, you start with what makes you strong. You build this incredible foundation of your own strength before you even think about confronting the things that have hurt you.
And the process is so deliberate, so intentional. You literally build your tree from the ground up. You start with your roots, where you come from, then your trunk, your skills, your branches of hope, your leaves of community. And only when that entire structure is built, when it's strong and stable, only then do you address the storms, the traumas, because now the tree is strong enough to handle them.
So how on earth do you make a game out of that? Well, imagine a character creator where you aren't just picking a haircut. You're answering questions about your roots and your values, and that procedurally generates a unique living tree avatar. And when you face a storm encounter, you don't pull out a sword. You withstand it using stats drawn from your roots, your skills, your community, from the very story you just built about yourself. I mean, this is just such a powerful reframing. The game itself teaches you that trauma isn't some flaw inside of you. It's an external force, and it's attacking a structure, you, that is already strong and robust.
Okay, for our final secret ingredient, we're off to Japan to look at the philosophy of repair itself. This is all about what happens after something breaks, and more importantly, how we learn to see our own scars.
Our last ingredient comes from the incredible Japanese art of kintsugi. You've probably seen it. When a piece of pottery breaks, they mend it with golden lacquer. But the philosophy here is the real magic. The goal isn't to hide the break, it's to illuminate it, to celebrate it, making that golden scar the most beautiful and interesting part of the whole piece. Its history of being broken and repaired is what gives it its true value.
And you can just imagine the game mechanics here, right? They're amazing. Instead of throwing away a broken item, you repair it with a rare resource, and now it has a new scar stat. It's actually stronger at the point where it broke. Imagine your character's avatar not just healing back to normal, but slowly accumulating these beautiful golden scars, a visual record of every battle you've survived.
The message is just so empowering. A scar isn't a sign of weakness you need to hide, it's proof of your resilience, something to be worn like a badge of honor.
So we did it. We've been to the Arctic. We've explored our own inner stories. We've seen the beauty in Japanese art. After this whole journey, what have we learned? What does this new kind of play actually look like when you put it all together?
What we've really seen are these 4 huge foundational shifts in how games could work. We move from just taking things from the world to a relationship of give and take. We shift from a goal of conquest to a goal of balance. We trade that impossible chase for perfection for the real, hard-won strength of resilience. And ultimately, we move away from a game loop based on destruction to one based on true restoration.
And all of this leads to a completely new definition of what it means to win. The ultimate goal, the win state in this kind of game, isn't about beating the final boss or owning the whole map. It's about achieving a state of harmony, a sense of balance, both inside yourself and with the world of the game.
And that leaves us with one last thought to take with you. What if the next huge blockbuster game, the one that everyone is playing, doesn't ask you to be a conqueror, but asks you to be a healer? What if the point wasn't to defeat a world, but to help heal one? Thanks so much for joining me on this.